Well, in a stunning reversal, Donald Trump is now saying, release those Epstein files. Go ahead, release them. This is the tweet he put out, or the Truth Social. He says, as I said on Friday night aboard Air Force One to the fake news media, House Republicans should vote to release the Epstein files because we have done nothing to hide. We have nothing to hide. And it's time to move on from this Democrat hoax perpetuated by radical left lunatics in order to deflect from the great success of the Republican Party, including our recent victory on the Democrat shutdown. The Department of Justice has already turned over tens of thousands of pages to the public on Epstein and are looking at various Democrat operatives, Bill Clinton, Reid Hoffman, Larry Summers, and the relationship to Epstein, and the House Oversight Committee can have whatever they are legally entitled to. I don't care. All caps, he says this. All I do care about is that Republicans get back on point, which is the economy, affordability, where we are winning big, our victory on reducing inflation from the highest level in history to practically nothing, bringing down prices for the American people, delivering historic tax cuts, gaining trillions of dollars of investments into America, our record, the rebuilding of our military, securing our border, deporting criminal illegal aliens, ending men and women's sports, stopping transgender for everyone, and so much more. Nobody cared about Jeffrey Epstein when he was alive, and if the Democrats had anything, they would have released it before our landslide election victory. Some members of the Republican Party are being used, and we can't let that happen. Let's start talking about the Republican Party's record-setting achievements and not fall into the Epstein trap, which is actually a curse on the Democrats, not us. Make America great again. Yeah, the problem is that we all know that AI is reshaping the job market rapidly. Nearly half of workers worldwide fear unemployment due to AI and technology. Customer service, marketing, software, finance, no industry is untouched. But the real issue is people are still living in a bubble, and they still think that they won't get affected until it hits them like a truck. But I want you to make a smart choice this Black Friday. While most people are spending on things that lose value, the smart ones are investing in learning what's shaping the future, which is why I have teamed up with Outskill to bring you a 2-day live AI Mastermind training, which has so far been attended by 10 million plus people globally. They're hosting a 2-day live AI Mastermind workshop this Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern. Now, usually this is a paid training worth $395, but Outskill is running their big Black Friday sale and offering all of my viewers a free seat in the training. And I highly recommend you attend this workshop because not only do you get AI certified, but you're also going to learn how to build AI-powered workflows, use AI tools, and eventually launch businesses generating close to $5,000 in weekly revenue. It is rated 4.9 out of 5 on Trustpilot, and you get trained by expert mentors from companies like Microsoft, OpenAI, NVIDIA, Google, and more. People who have built and shaped the current AI landscape. In just 16 hours, you will learn 10 plus actually AI-powered tools, master AI in Excel sheets and presentations, start building your own AI agents and workflows, and even join a community of AI builders inside their seamless learning dashboard to meet like-minded people and collaborate with them lifelong. But wait, there's a little more here. If you attend both days, you're going to unlock bonuses worth $5,000, including a prompt Bible, a roadmap to monetize AI, and your own personalized AI toolkit. So if you're already planning your exciting weekend, trust me, nothing's more exciting than planning your future. Save your free spot now via the link in the description before the seats vanish, and join their WhatsApp community so that you never miss a beat. It would be great if the Republicans were focused on those things. I mean, look, if they were focused on the economy and bringing down inflation and making everything affordable, yeah, that would be wonderful if we were focused on that. But guess what? We're not. We're focused on Israel, and more Israel, which has made people extremely skeptical and suspicious about Donald Trump and his relationship to Epstein, because the vast majority of people at this point believe that Epstein was absolutely working for the state of Israel and was working to blackmail high-ranking officials and people in power. And it looks like our government's been compromised for a really long time, not starting with Donald Trump. He's just one of many. And it's looking like he's doing Israel's bidding. So yeah, you know what? It would be great if we focused on things like the economy and making things affordable. But guess what? That's not what you're focused on. And when you talk about these historic money coming in, you mean tariffs? You mean the tariffs that are just another tax on the American people? So we're just redistributing the money inside of America? So this has got people very, very skeptical. And this is why Americans, this is not just the Democrat hoax and this is playing politics. No, Americans want the Epstein files. Americans are wanting these files. In fact, Thomas Massey put out this poll. Next week, the House will finally vote on our real legislation to release the Epstein files. How would you vote? Overwhelmingly. And the answers were release the files, keep the files sealed, or don't care, it's a hoax. Okay, the only people that said don't care, it's a hoax, 6.4% of people said don't care, it's a hoax. Everybody else said release the files. So no one, well, I guess not no one, but very, very few people are buying this narrative that the Republicans are trying to put out there that this is some sort of a Democrat hoax. Hardly anyone is buying that. Thomas Massey has been at the forefront of getting these files released, and it does look like tomorrow they are going to be voting in the House to release the files. They do have the votes. The votes are there. They will pass this. And what's going to be more important is they're going to get on record all of the people in the GOP, because, Democrats are all going to vote to release the records, even though they should be equally afraid. I mean, this is not a partisan issue. This is very much a bipartisan. This has infected every echelon of our political class. The difference is, I think, for Democrats is they're thinking, okay, so what? You're going to expose Bill Clinton. He was already a two-time president. He's gone. Hillary's not going to be president. What gives? What does it matter? We'll just show up with somebody else for our presidential run and Senate and House. And I don't think Democrats care. They have to clear House anyway. But they are going to vote. They do have the votes. However, it will die in the Senate. So we shouldn't get our hopes up. This will, however, put on record all of the GOP members who vote against releasing the files. And that is against the campaign promises that even Donald Trump ran on. They ran on releasing these files. And now we're going to get on record all of the Republican cowards who are going to vote to keep the files sealed. Why would any of them want to keep the files sealed? I mean, just even if you don't think that Jeffrey Epstein was some sort of a Mossad asset, even if you think he has nothing to do with the state of Israel, at least the rest of the people who don't think that, who don't even equate Israel to Epstein for whatever reason in their mind, they still think of it as a pedophile ring. So why wouldn't we want to, at minimum, expose the pedophiles? That seems to be basic minimum number one. I mean, this would be like if all of these people voted to protect the Catholic Church, protect the priests. Let's not dig into priests and what they're doing to the little boys in the Catholic Church. Let's just protect them. Let's not. I mean, that's the scandal that they're setting themselves up for. That's the legacy that many in the GOP that are going to be voting against releasing the Epstein file, that's the legacy that they're going to be setting up for themselves, that you were the ones protecting the priests who were molesting the little boys. At minimum, not even about the state of Israel. That is what the American people will see. And then on top of it, when we see that it is also about protecting a foreign country, because it's not just about protecting a foreign country, it was also a pedophile ring. So it's both equally horrifically bad. And so now you've got a whole group of Americans that'll be looking at these GOP members. This will be against them in the campaign. They'll get primaried, and their primary challengers will use this in their campaigns. That this person voted to not only run cover for pedophiles, but run cover for a foreign government. And I think this is going to be one of those moments for American voters. I think it's going to be very reminiscent of basically you lost if you were a never Trumper. In 2018, if you were a never Trumper, then you were going to be primaried by a Trump supporter. And it was the era of MAGA, and MAGA won. And that is what this is going to be. It's going to be the era against Epstein, against the state of Israel, against their blackmail. And the people will win on this one as much as they try to prevent it. Thomas Massey, after Donald Trump said, okay, go ahead, release the files. Thomas Massey says, thank you, real Donald Trump, for encouraging my colleagues to vote yes on our important legislation to release the Epstein files. So this is going to be an interesting development, because now you've got Donald Trump saying, okay, fine, vote yes. And I think what happened potentially, there's a lot of things we can get really skeptical as to why he's now coming out and saying yes. One is he doesn't like to lose, and he's definitely going to be losing this because they're going to be voting yes on this. The second thing is the files are already being released and he's already implicated. And maybe we have everything now. Maybe it's already out. And so maybe now he's like, okay, what do I have to be afraid of? I mean, you've already put it out there. There's nothing else to disclose when it comes to his connections to Jeffrey Epstein. So he might just be like, okay, fine, do the rest. There's nothing else. That's possible. It could also be that he's getting pressure from inside the GOP where they're saying, look, nobody wants to defy you, so they're all going to vote no, but it will kill the Republican Party because they will be primaried. The voters will not forget this. The voters are against anyone who's going to vote no on releasing the Epstein files. They'll be primaried and they'll be gone. So you have to give them the leeway to vote yes to release the Epstein files without them looking like traitors to you, sir. That could possibly have been a conversation as well as to why Donald Trump is now saying, okay, fine, release the files. I actually think there's probably just nothing else to find in regards to Donald Trump. So I just think, there's nothing else to find. And I don't think they care. I think he's just saying, fine, go ahead. You already did it. Politico interviewed Representative Thomas Massie. And Thomas Massie said that he had beat Donald Trump in this battle. Trump has been very against Massie ever since Massie's been saying, we want the files, we want the files. And Massie says he got tired of me winning. And so now Trump is saying, I don't care. And it does kind of sound like that, like just a big baby. That's fine. Go ahead. I don't care. Massie also said about those GOP members who are probably going to be we'll see how they vote tomorrow on this. But he even said about them that they need to look past 2028 and wonder if they want this on their record for the rest of their political career. He says right now it's okay to cover up for pedophiles because the president will take up for you if you're in the red districts. That's the deal. I mean, why is that the deal? That shouldn't be the deal. No one should accept that deal. And the thing is, American voters aren't accepting that deal. Saying right now it's okay to cover up for pedophiles because the president will take up for you if you're in the red states. That's the deal. And he says, but that deal only works as long as he's popular or president. If they're thinking about the right thing to do, that's pretty obvious. You vote for it, right? Because you're either running cover for pedophiles or running cover for a foreign government or actually both. And nobody should want that on their record at all. I want to play for you this video that was released it was a PSA by the Epstein survivors. Quite powerful. Here it is.
I suffered so much pain.
So much pain.
So much pain.
I suffered so much pain. I was 14 years old.
I was 16 years old.
I was 16.
17.
14 years old.
This is me.
This was me.
This is me.
When I met Jeffrey Epstein.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
There are about 1,000 of us.
It's time to bring the secrets out of the shadows. It's time to shine a light into the darkness.
Over 1,000 of them. Yeah, release the damn files. Ro Khanna, who's a Democrat, but he's also with Thomas Massie on this. He says this isn't about politics. It's about justice for the brave survivors. It doesn't matter who's in the files, Democrat, Republican, friend, or rival. Every member of Congress will be put on record this week when we vote on Representative Thomas Massie and my bill. They did this bill together, and he's right. This is not just about justice. It's about, he says it's about the brave survivors, but I will assert that the survivors are all of us. Well, we're not even survivors at this point. We're just victims. I mean, right now we have a country under blackmail, and they have been doing the bidding of a foreign government because of that blackmail. That makes every single American a victim. That makes this treason. It's not just a matter of the women who were abused. That is also horrific, and they absolutely deserve justice. But this is also about the country. This is about what our founding fathers fought for and how we've now allowed it to be given away via blackmail, brainwashing, or bribery to a foreign Middle Eastern government. Another update here is Prince Andrew. So he had infamously been denying this photograph with him and Virginia Giuffre. He had been saying, I don't know, if this could be kind of said that this could be Photoshop, doctored videos, a doctored image is what he had been claiming. But actually, the Epstein emails that have dropped have proven that this photograph, the email says that this photograph is real. The email was dated 2011. This is from Jeffrey Epstein to a redacted name. And in it, he says, this girl fled the country with an outstanding arrest warrant. The DA, after she accused others, said in writing that she had no credibility. She was never 15 years old working for me. Her story made it seem like she first worked for Trump at that age and was met by Ghislaine Maxwell. Total horseshit. The Daily Mail paid her money. They admitted it with this statement that it took money to coax out the truth. Yes, she was on my plane, and yes, she had her picture taken with Andrew, as many of my employees have. I have never misled you. This girl is a total liar. The authorities should check her Australian immigration form, and you could talk to Dershowitz. I will ask if they will cooperate, Prince people, is what Jeffrey Epstein said. That was in 2011, so of course at that point he's deny. And what do you expect him to say? He's going to make up stuff, oh, she's just lying, she's this, she's that. I mean, what else is he going to say? But he does say the important thing about this, so we don't, you could choose to believe what he says or what he doesn't say about everything else. But what is interesting is he does say, yes, she had her picture taken with Andrew. And this is a photograph that Prince Andrew had been denying. So just another interesting development. I don't think any of us thought this was a doctored photo. I don't think any of us bought Prince Andrew's lies on that, but nonetheless, the emails have ousted him. So that is the latest on the Epstein files. We will stay, we're of course going to follow the vote. We will find out who is on record voting no to not to release the Epstein files. And I look forward to seeing those no votes, and I look forward to reading their excuses. And we will go over that later on this week. Thank you for watching this clip from the full Kim Iverson Show, which you can catch Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern at KimIversonShow.com. It is free for you to watch. Again, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, KimIversonShow.com. See you there.